Good morning. Happy Thursday. Welcome to this week's Total Body Strength class. We're going to get a nice, good workout in today. So I'll go ahead and we'll just jump right in. I'll go ahead and explain everything we're going to do today with demonstrations and everything. And then we'll go ahead and do a warm up and get started. So we are going to be doing just a straight up, we're going to do a circuit. We're going to do 30 seconds. We're going to do two exercises back to back. So we'll do 30 seconds of the first, 30 seconds of the second exercise, and then we'll move right back on to the next one. So starting off here, we're going to do 30 seconds of squats. So you can have both your dumbbells here and you can hold them either at your shoulders or at your sides. And we're just going to squat regularly. So squatting down, squeeze the glutes, coming up, letting those knees track past the toe and keeping that core tight back nice and flat. So that's going to be the first 30 seconds. And the second 30 seconds, we're going to go ahead and do some shoulder presses here. So having the weights right above those shoulders, pressing up, straight back down. So we're doing that there. 30 seconds. And then we're going to go ahead and do some RDLs. So feet shoulder width apart, pushing those hips back, squeezing the glutes, coming back up. So do 30 seconds of that. And then we're going to go ahead and do some bros. So staying at the bottom of that position, pulling the dumbbells towards our belly button, bringing those hands towards the glutes there, working the back. And so then the next two exercises, we're going to do curtsy lunges. So we're going to do 30 seconds all on one leg here. So we're going to start with the right leg curtsy lunge. So we're going to have all that weight in the front leg, stepping back and diagonal, hips forward, squatting down or lunging down, whatever you want to call it there. So we're going to do all on one leg. We're going to do 30 seconds and then we're going to do some bicep curls. So just curl on the weight here. And then we're going to do curtsy lunges on the other side. So the left leg, stepping back and diagonal. And then we're going to do some side raises. So dumbbells starting off at the sides, pinkies up, straight out to the side and back down. So that is the second part of that one. And then we're going to go ahead and get on the ground for the final two things or four things technically that we're going to do. So we're going to go ahead and start off with some glute bridge marching here. So keeping those hips up, bringing one knee up at a time, keeping the core tight, back flat, pelvis is tucked. So we're gonna do glute bridge marches, and then we're gonna do some floor pressing. So 30 seconds of marches, 30 seconds of floor presses. So we're on the ground. I'm in frame stall. I'll move the camera a little bit better for this. But then what we're gonna do is we're gonna squeeze through the chest, pushing the weight above our head and back down. So we want to start with our hands lower, pushing them up right above our head and back down. So that's going to be the second movement. And then we're going to go ahead and do some dead bugs here. So hands straight up with the weights here. So we're going to add that core assist. Knees are going to be up 90-degree angle out from the hips. And then extend one leg at a time. Exhale, come back up. Extend, exhale, come back up. So having the dumbbells above head are going to help keep our core a little bit extra activated. And then finally, we're going to end with some toe touches. So legs straight in the air, touching your toes with the dumbbells. You can either use 0, 1, or 2 dumbbells, whatever you're most comfortable with today. So that is going to be the whole circuit. So we're going to be doing 30 seconds of the first exercise, 30 seconds of the second. So we got 12 exercises coming up, and then we'll go through that 3 times. Move the camera a little bit better for you guys. So we'll go ahead and get started with a warm up. We can go ahead and get on the ground in a half kneeling position. We're going to stretch out our hip flexors and our hamstrings a little bit. So we're going to do that the hip flexor stretch first. We're tucking our pelvis, keeping our core nice and tight, squeezing the glute of the knee that's on the ground. So my right knee is on the ground, squeezing the right glute, pushing those hips forward, reaching that right arm above head. Breathing nice and deep into the belly, feeling that stretch in the front of our hip. And on the exhale, we're going to go ahead and bring that hip back towards the heel. Front leg is going to be straight, toes towards the ceiling, bending as close to our leg as we can, feeling that stretch through the calf and the hamstring here. Big, deep inhale into the belly. And on that exhale, we can go ahead and go back to hip flexors. We're going to do this one more time on this side. Squeeze the glute of the knee that's on the ground. Tuck your pelvis. Bring those hips forward. Reaching that hand overhead. Breathing into the belly. Feeling that hip expand in the front. And exhaling, rocking back into hamstring here. Bending as far forward as we can. Feeling that stretch all through the back of the leg, toes to the ceiling. And on our next exhale, we can go ahead and come out of that stretch. We're going to switch sides. So left knee on the ground now, right foot on the ground, half kneeling. Tuck the pelvis, keep the core tight. Squeeze that glute of the knee that's on the ground, pushing those hips forward, reaching the hand overhead. Big deep breaths into the belly, slowly exhaling. And on the next exhale, rocking back into the hamstring stretch, toes to the ceiling, bending as far forward towards that leg as we can. And on the next exhale, back to hip flexor. So tucking the pelvis, squeeze the glute, the knee that's on the ground, raising that hand overhead. Feeling that opening up the front of the hip. And exhaling, rocking back into that hamstring stretch. Great job, you guys. One more breath here. And on the exhale, we're going to go ahead and come out of that. And we're going to make our way onto our hands and our toes into a nice plank position here. We're going to get that upper body warmed up a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and do a few plank to pikes here. So starting off in this high plank position, pushing our hips up into that pike or that down dog position, stretching out our calf, stretching out our back, and back to plank. We're just going to do this a couple times, so you can go ahead and move at your own pace. You can stay at the top for as long as you would like or as short as you would like. Wherever we're at, we're going to go ahead and just do one more. And then once our hips are up, we can go ahead and just walk those hands up towards the feet. Squeeze the glutes, slowly roll up. And we are ready to get started. So we are doing 30 seconds of the first exercise, 30 seconds of the second, going through that 3 times through, and then we'll do a nice cool down. So we're starting off with our squats. You can grab your dumbbells, hold them at your sides or at your shoulders, whatever feels best for you today. So we'll do squats and shoulder presses. 3, 2, 1, and the timer is going. So for squats, you can even hold them at your shoulders or at your sides, whatever's most comfortable. Personally, I do like these shoulders because at the sides, I feel like I can't get as low as I can if my dumbbells are up higher. So whatever feels best for you. Everyone's going to feel a little bit different. Great job. Squeeze those glutes. 3, 2, 1. Shoulder presses. So weights are coming up above the head. Well, you can't see my hands. Then if I move the camera up, you can't see me on the ground. Just too tall for this angle today, I guess. So we're pushing the weights above head, keeping those wrists tight, squeezing through the shoulders. We want to make sure our elbows are not dropping below 90 degrees. We want them to be even with the shoulders. 3, 2, 1. We got RDLs. So feet are shoulder width apart. Dumbbells straight in front of us, rolling down our legs here. Pushing our hips back as far as we can. If we don't push our hips far enough back and we come forward too much, it's going to put too much stress on the low back. So we're really pushing those hips back, pushing through the ground, squeezing the glutes on the way up. You want to go until you start to feel that tension. 3, 2, 1, and we're rowing. So we're pulling those dumbbells straight towards our back. We really want the dumbbells to come on the outside of the quads here. So we don't want them to be, our elbows to be up. We want them to come back. That's how we're going to activate those lats here. We have curtsy lunges next. So curtsy lunges and bicep curls. We're still rowing, squeezing through the armpits here. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're doing all the curtsy lunges on one side. So we're stepping back in diagonal and then coming back up. Hips are forward, just like we got some headlights going. We want to pretend like those headlights on our hips, we're blinding the camera with them. So hips are forward. Squeezing the glute. Whole foot pushing the ground away from us. Heel, big toe, little toe. Great job. We're almost there. 3, 2, 1. We got bicep curls. So we're just Curling the weight up, keeping our grip nice and loose. We squeeze the dumbbells, it's going to activate our forearms. We really want to just use the biceps here today. Great job. Up next, we're going to do curtsy lunges on the other leg, and then we're going to do some side raises after. Great job. 3, 2, 1. So we're stepping back in diagonal with the left leg now, squeezing through the glute, knee tracking past that second toe. So the inside of the knee is right over that second, third toe. We are bending forward, so all of our weight is in that front foot, chest directly over the arch of our foot. Great job. 3, 2, 1. Side raises, so dumbbells staying outside of our bodies here. Pinkies are up, elbows in line with our shoulders. Does help if we exhale on the way up. It's gonna help with that explosiveness. We're gonna get on the ground here right after this. We got those glute bridge marches and then floor presses. 3, 2, 1. All right, on the ground, on the backs. We don't need the dumbbells for the first one, but our hips are in the air and we are marching as those hips stay up. So we're keeping that pelvis tucked. We're exhaling, bringing our knee up, keeping that core activated and the glutes squeezed. We have floor presses coming up next, so keep those hips high. Doing great. 3, 2, 1. All right, grabbing those dumbbells. Elbows are staying nice and close to our body. Our hands are going to start down kind of near the bottom of the rib cage, and then we're pressing up directly above head with our arms here. So that chest action starts by coming down, bringing our arms together above head. We have dead bugs next. 3, 2, 1. So holding those dumbbells up above head, core assist here. Extend one leg, exhale, bring that knee back in. We want to make sure those knees are staying directly above the hips. Our low back is in the ground. That's what's activating that core. We got an apple sitting on our stomach. We are crushing that as we bring the knee back in. 3, 2, 1, and toe touches. And then we're going to start back at the top with the squats and the presses. We got 2 more rounds to go after this. We're doing great. Exhaling, bringing the weights towards our toes. Great job. We got squats here in 3, 2, 1. All right, standing on up. Getting ready with our dumbbells here, and we are squatting. It's gonna go by really quick. 30-second increments fly by. We're squeezing the glutes. We're keeping our low back nice and flat. Core is engaged here. Knees past the second toe. Squeezing. Standing all the way up. Pressing in 3, 2, 1. Dumbbells staying right above those shoulders. Keeping our core tight. If we start to feel that when we're here and we have to arch the back to get the weight up, that weight is too heavy for us, we got to drop it down. We want to be able to keep our core tight, our back flat. We got RDLs coming up in 3, 2, 1. Feet are shoulder width apart. Push those hips back. Squeeze the glutes and come back up. Really important to hear that our knees do stay bent, but we are not actively bending our knees. If we were bending our knees, that would be more of a squat here. We're just moving the hips back and forth, just like we're closing a door with our butt, because we got too many groceries in the hand as we're coming up to the house. 3, 2, 1. We're doing rows, so we're staying at the bottom part of the RDL, squeezing through the armpit. Elbows are coming up. Great job. Don't forget to breathe. We have curtsy lunges and bicep curls coming up next here. 3, 2, 1. So we're starting all on one leg. So I'm starting on the right, stepping back in diagonal with my left leg, keeping the center of mass. So my chest is directly above the arch of my foot. So if you see from this angle, my chest is coming down. I'm not straight up and down here. We're pushing the ground away from us. Heel big toe, little toe. Squeezing those glutes. Bicep curls in 3, 2, 1. We're curling here. Great job. Use those biceps. And we got curtsy lunges on the other side. And then we got those side raises. Great job. Keep pushing. 3, 2, 1. All right, left leg now, curtsy lunge. Back and diagonal, hips are forward. The center of mass is right over the arch of our foot here. Knee is coming out past that second toe. The back leg is just there for balance. We're not pushing off the ground with that back leg, only using our front leg. We got side raises here in 3, 2, 1. So hands on the outside here, straight up to the side. And then we're gonna get on the ground after these. We got glute bridge marches, and then we got the floor presses. Now we got dead bugs and toe touches, and we'll run through this one more time before we cool down and get on with the rest of the day here. All right, 3, 2, 1. On the ground, glute bridge marches here. Hips are high. We are keeping the pelvis tucked. We're squeezing through the glutes, and we exhale. Bring one knee up at a time here. Great job. Make sure that pelvis is tucked. Our glutes are being squeezed. 3, 2, 1. Grab the dumbbells for floor presses, just like a bench press, but we're on the ground. So we're squeezing through the armpits. Sorry, squeezing through the chest. We're not rowing. We're pushing through the chest, so arms start down low and we end above head. That's how we activate our chest. That can be a little bit difficult if we're not used to it. Oh, sorry, dead bugs. I was talking. Wasn't paying attention to the timer. We're extending one leg out at a time. Keep those knees above the hips. Our arms are straight right above our bodies here. Exhaling as we come back to center. Crushing that apple with our lower core here. Keeping that 3, 2, 1. All right, toe touches. And then we got one more round, starting off with squats. And then we got presses. Great job. Keep pushing. 3, 2, 1. We are standing up. We got squats. Last round, everyone. Keep up the good work here. We're squatting. Feet are shoulders apart. Heel, big toe, little toe. Squeezing the glutes as we stand up. Knees past the second toe. Core tight, back flat. Great job, everyone. Almost there. Last round here. Pressing in 3, 2, 1. Dumbbells right above those shoulders. Keeping our back flat, our core is tight, our pelvis is tucked. We got RDLs coming up next, and then rows. Three, two, one. All right, RDLs, pushing those hips back, squeeze the glutes. You want to go down as far as you feel comfortable until you start to feel a stretch in your hamstrings, and you're going to squeeze your glutes and come right back up. We got rows after this. Doing great. Keep breathing. Squeeze those glutes. 3, 2, 1. All right. Bent over rows here. So we're bringing those hands towards the butt, squeezing through the armpit, making sure our shoulder blades are locked into place. So we don't want to be hunching over here. We want our low back to be flat, core tight, pelvis tucked. Push those hips back. Keep those shoulder blades nice and pulled back together like you're squeezing an orange there. We got curtsy lunges. 3, 2, 1. All right, right leg stepping back and diagonal with the left leg, keeping that chest over the center of our front foot. Back leg is just there for balance. We want to make sure we are just using that front foot to stand back up. 3, 2, 1. Bicep curls. So we're curling that way up. Now we're going to do curtsy lunges on the other leg, and then some side raises. Great job. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. All right, left leg curtsy lunge, stepping back and behind, keeping those hips forward. You're blinding me, blind the camera with those hips. Oops. So we want to make sure we're not opening up here. Turn those hips forward. That's what is going to target our glutes here in this movement. We got side raises coming up here in 3, 2, 1. Hands staying outside of our body. Great job. We're going to be on the ground for those glute bridge marches. And then for the floor presses, pinkies are up here, back is flat, core is tight. Getting parallel elbows with the shoulders. Getting on the ground in 3, 2, 1. All right, glute bridge marches here. Keeping those hips nice and high. Squeeze the glutes, tuck the pelvis, and raise your knee up one leg at a time. So we're crushing that apple still, exhaling. So we should feel this in our core because our pelvis is tucked, but that's also what is driving the knee action. We got floor presses in 3, 2, 1. Getting those dumbbells ready. Starting low, right at the bottom of our rib cage here. Bringing those hands together. We want about a 45-degree angle in our hands and in our elbows. So if you can tell, my elbows are staying really close to my side. It's how we protect our shoulder joints. We don't want our elbows at 90 degrees. We want them as close to our body as we can. Dead bugs in 3, 2, 1. Extending one leg at a time. Dumbbells are staying above our head. Bringing those legs back in using our core. So it does help to exhale as we come back to center. Great job. We're almost there. We got one more movement after this, so we'll go ahead and cool down. 3, 2, One toe touches. Last part of the workout here, finishing strong. Using that core, exhaling as we come up. Great job finishing strong here. 3, 2, 1, and we are done with the workout here. Awesome job today, everyone. Go ahead and grab a sip of water if you need it. That was a lot of work with not a whole lot of rest, so great job. And then we're going to go ahead and do a nice little cool down. So what we're going to do here is we're actually just going to do some child's pose. We're going to do a few different ways to stretch out our sides after all of those rows and upper body things that we did. So what we're going to do is we're on our hands and our knees, and we're going to bring those knees a little bit wider than shoulder width, toes together. We're going to go ahead, and as we sink those hips back, we're going to walk our hands all the way out to one side. So I'm going to walk all the way out to the left first, sink those hips back, forehead, chin, or cheek to the ground. And this is where we're going to start to slow our breath down, but we're also going to get a nice stretch through our right side if our hands are to the left here. So we're breathing into our side here, slowly exhaling through the mouth, and relaxing further into the stretch. So whether that's relaxing further into the ground with your upper body, or getting your hips, your glutes a little closer to those heels. And let's go ahead and do one more big deep breath here. Can slowly kind of half come out of that, and now we're going to walk those hands all the way over to the right side here. Same thing then. So hands are off to the right, forehead, chin, or cheek to the ground. Breathing into our side, feeling our ribs expand. Slowly exhaling and sinking deeper into the stretch here. Awesome, everyone. Let's go ahead and do one more big deep breath here. We can half come up. Now we're just going to walk those hands into the center. Same thing, walk those hands out. Glutes to heels, forehead, chin, or cheek to the ground. We're going to do a few more deep breaths here. Breathing into the belly. Really letting those hips sink further down with each exhale. And let's go ahead and do one more big deep breath here. And we can gently return to our hands and our knees. You could stay there, seated, kneeling, or standing, however you'd like to end, but that will conclude this morning's total body strength class. So thank you all for joining me. Love starting the day off with a good workout with all of you guys. Don't forget, today we do have 2 stretch breaks, one at 11 and one at 2:30, both with Luis. So those are always fun to attend. And then we have exercise with exos with me at 12 today, and then abs, core, and mobility with Brittany at 4:30 tonight. So don't miss out on those. Reminder, tomorrow we do not have any classes, so you can always check out our YouTube channel. And don't forget to sign up for our blood drive. So sign up today on our SharePoint site and sign up to donate blood between June 1st and June 30th. So but thank you all for coming. Great job today. And I hope to see you all at a different class.